Hello, welcome back to the FX Championship 2027 Season 5 Round 3 here in Qatar for the Qatar Grand Prix. It's your boy King Razza back on the commentary booth, and if you haven't watched the last two episodes, I guarantee you to go watch them because we had an absolute crazy start to this season. But it's a world of domination by one team. Can they keep that flow going as we head into the third round of this season? And we're here in Qatar, lovely track. Last time out in the Middle East before we head over to Australia for round 4 of the championship. And this track consists in a total of 16 corners, only one DRS zone, but that is 5, then means straight down to the start finish line into turn 1. But there's a lovely track to race on, lots of chicanes, lots of wide and corners that you need to take right. So I can't see what these drivers have in store for us today. And let's have a look at the championship so far following the last race in Bahrain. You can clearly see there is a dominant form by Sawyer and Connor for Inferno Motorsport. 1 and 2, Sawyer's lead the way, Connor second. They're both tied with 27 points. That is super interesting, with Brentley in third, then Maya in fourth, Yaya fifth, then Elijah in sixth, Ethan 7th, and Megan in 8th, Rari 9th, Biggie 10th, then Noah, Branson, Mike, Maddie, Parker, Salish, Shiloh, Ada Jackson, Jordan, and Salash. That is the championship order as we get ready for another race here in the FX Season 5 Championship. Remember, 12 rounds in total. Normally it was around 14 rounds, but we have cut it down to 12 rounds for this season, as you can still expect some absolute high drama. But who is going to take pole and who is going to be taking the win here at Qatar? It's not an easy track, it's difficult to overtake, so yes. And can Inferno Motorsports keep their streak of wins going? Connor and Sawyer both 1 win apiece. Who's going to take it here today? Well, let's get into the starting grid, ladies and gentlemen, because here we go. And oh wow, it's an all front row lookout for Sawyer, who's on pole, and Connor in second place. My oh my, Branson in third place. Wow, Branson has a really good qualifying, and Jackson up there in 4th. Wow, Jackson finds a pace. Lash in 5th, and then we have Biggie starting in 6th place. Maddie will start in 7th, and then we have Brentley in 8th. She's looking pretty good for the first start of this season. As Mike is in 9th. Then we have Elijah in 10th place. Noah will start in 11th. Parker, we'll start 12th for Blaze Velocity, and Maya, oh my goodness, Maya, what happened to Rose Rush? Down 13th, Yaya 40th. So the two drivers, top 2 drivers in the last race of Bahrain, had a hell of a qualifying as Charlotte stopped 15th, Jordan in 16th, Megan, disappointed qualifying for her, she's in 17th, Ethan 18th, and then we have Salish 19th, and the big shock, Rai started at the back of the field. Oh my goodness, Rose Rush Racing, they are losing lots of touch, I must say, and they got a heap of work to do, and that's very disappointing for Rai, but let's see what she can do from last. It's not going to be an easy race for her, but it's going to be a very simple race. It's a front row lookout for Inferno Motorsports. Who's going to take it here in Qatar? Because it's time for the race, ladies and gentlemen. There are your 5 red lights. 5 red lights are up on your screens. And it's lights out, and away we go! A good start from Connor, who's on the soft of my tyres, I must say, but Sawyer just managed to eke his way ahead, but Connor is going to send it down the inside, into turn 1, we go, and Connor takes the lead on the Grand Prix as we head round the line of turn 3, into turn 4, coming up into the chicane, and it's looking like Sawyer just managed to hold off some pressure on Branson, who's having a fight with Jackson right there. Jackson making his move, and he's up into P3. So tremendous start from the 2 teams, I must say, of Inferno Motorsport and for Jackson, as they both managed to get themselves in a good position. Branson lost some time, I would say. He's down to P4 as you watch him really having a little go at Biggie right now, who's defending right now for P5. As you see, and all the other drivers jockeying for position. Maya had made a play, she's up into P19. Maya is staying where she is, where she started, P13. As you're watching Noah now having a fight with rally for the likes of P10. As you can see now, oh my goodness, no, went a little bit wide, I must say, out of turn 9 there, but he managed to keep it on the road, and there is Connor rounding the final corner to end that board, and he's nearly a second ahead of his teammate. This team is absolutely dominating this race so far, but Aiden Jackson's going to spoil the party. It's not going to be a one team for the team. He's going to try and split the two cars apart, as there he goes, Jackson up into P2. Brilliant move from him, and that's a tremendous start from him, I must say. Jackson wasn't really up there in Bahrain, neither in Abu Dhabi, but somehow he has keep his clean and turn it up a little bit here in Qatar, and he's running second place for his team. Great start for him, for Phoenix Edge Racing, I must say. They're looking pretty good around here in Qatar today. So, we're watching on board Branson right now as after you lost that position for P3 after a great qualifying. He's down to P4 on lap 2 out of 19. It is what it is. We still have a long way to go. 19 laps of running here in Qatar right now, as Branson is trying to make his way back up the field. But look at Solage and look at the likes of Mike having a great fight, I must say, for position right now, as we're going to skip some laps later onto lap 3. As we were seeing the drivers make around the final corners to start lap 4. So I say this, I believe, got a track limit warning as we're watching Solage. It's going to be under pressure, I must say, by the likes of Mike, but Brindley is going to set it up the inside to get past Biggie into turn 1, and Brindley going to make the move stick, but Biggie's going to fight this one back. Biggie's going to fight this one back. This is getting really close between these two, the two of them alongside of each other. Up ahead, Sawyer and Branson also have a love fight. Sawyer, I must say, I've been talking about tyres options throughout this race, but Connor Jackson on the soft, Sawyer, Branson, Brindley, Solage, all on medium combat tires, no sign of softs, I must say, so definitely split strategies from some of the drivers here today. But I've got to say, the likes of Sawyer, I expect him actually lose positions as we go on virtual safety car. Safety car is out, and Maya is in the wall, and Maya is out of the race. Oh, dearie me! What happened there? It just got bad to worse for Rose Rush Racing. Maya, who was fighting for the win up the front of the field, it has absolutely completely undone for this team right now. This is turning into a nightmare. This is not the race that I want to have, and Maya. Oh dear, I can't even explain how much bad luck she's having through this race, and this is going to be a weekend to forget, so she's just got to move on to Australia. Hopefully she has a good race there, but yeah, oh dear, it just got bad to worse. What happened to Rose Rush? In the blink of an eye, they were fighting for wins. Now, here in Qatar, they're out of the points. They're like the midfield team, like, let me tell you, like something has happened within that team, and yeah, it's really hampering their performance as we watching the guys getting back into racing action. As we're watching this brilliant fight, I must say, I believe this is for P2. Jackson second place, Biggie third, Sawyer fourth. So Sawyer dropped down to P4 because he's on mediums. Jackson, Biggie, they're all on the soft compound tires, but you can see Sawyer, he's really trying to fight this one back. Out of turn 9 we go, coming up into turn 10. You can see Sawyer making the move on Biggie, and he can see the opening. Can he get the mistake? Biggie will have the inside line as we head into turn 12. Can he get the move done? Biggie just managed to hold on to podium position, and Sawyer has to stay put there in P4. But you gotta watch their mirrors, because Branson and Brindley, you never know, they can get themselves involved because they're not too far behind. As there goes Sawyer yet again, down the inside, round the final corner we go. Who's gonna have the DRS? It's gotta be Sawyer. It is gonna be Sawyer. It is gonna have the DRS. And look at this, Branson also getting himself involved. It could be 3 wide into turn 1. Sawyer to the inside. Branson gonna fall his way through ahead of Biggie, and Branson is up into P4. Brilliant driving for these guys, but Biggie is still there, trying to stick his nose in as we head out on turn 3, coming up into turn 4. Branson just had to settle down for P4 position, and that is a brilliant scrap going on there as we skip some laps later onto 7 out of lap lap, hour 19, ladies and gentlemen, and Biggie is going to set it up the inside of the likes of Branson, and the two of them going side by side, and Branson to the inside, and that's move done. Branson P5. This is brilliant fighting with these guys. Brilliant fighting. That's now the two Diamond Nitro cars having a scrap. Biggie and Solange going side by side. Solange is through. She's up into P6. And I gotta say, I think that the soft compound tires are starting to grade. You can see now Biggie's car, the softs are starting to go, and now we see some pit takers, and Biggie is in. He's in. Salish and Megan, sorry, they're both already pitted for the hards, as here comes Elijah to possibly make a double overtake on Mike. Maybe on Solange. No, he can't. He has to stay there in P7. But yeah, Elijah, another driver that I was not expecting to be out of the order, out of the points, I must say. So what happened to Elijah? Because he was fighting for wins, I must say, particularly for the first 2 rounds of this season. And now here in Qatar, we are not seeing that amazing performance that we saw before in the first 3 rounds of this season. So what happened to Elijah? I don't know. But there is Sawyer in second place, 1-2 for Infraction Motorsport. But now Connor has come into the pits. Yes, the leader is in the pits, and he's going on to the hard compound tyres. Now that's interesting. Connor on the hard, Mike also in the pits, Yaya is in the pits. Another big struggle after a fight for the win in Bahrain. Yet again, Yaya finding herself going backwards here in Qatar, unfortunately, as she entered the pits. Connor's going to come out in 12 ahead of Biggie. Where is Yaya going to come out? It looks like she's going to be coming out behind Megan and Mike, I must say. So yeah, Yaya down in P14. Let's see what the hard runners can do for their stints as we're watching in front. Sawyer is leading the way, 2 seconds ahead of Jackson. Brindley in third place, Branson in fourth, Elijah in fifth, as he skips a lot later now to Ryra, I believe. He's making her first pit stop of the race, and she's trying to go along on these mediums, and she's gone to the softs. Interesting. I think she's going to try and make as many positions as possible and hope that safety car can come out later on in this race, because this is definitely not the race that Race Rush were dreaming about. They were they're literally nowhere in this race. As we're watching now, Brindley having a little fight, I believe, with Yaya for P8. The two Lux Pulse Racing cars, they are second in the championship, in the team standings, so they are looking pretty good. Brindley's kind of doing the hard work, I must say, because Yaya is still struggling here after an amazing drive in the last race. But yeah, Yaya still find a little bit of struggles with her car today, I must say, throughout the season. Can she get over it as this season wears on? We have to find out. As we're watching now, that's Jackson, and I think that might be Biggie ahead of him, that he's closing in. He's on fresh mediums, Biggie on worn out sauce, so it's looking like that Jackson has the advantage here. Is Biggie gonna come into the pits? I think he already pitted, sorry, because he only did 4 laps on those on the soft command tires. As we're watching Sawyer now coming into the pits, getting rid of those worn out sauce. Been on the sauce for a very long time, I say, for Sawyer. But Sawyer coming out of the pit lane, and he's on the mediums, and he's gonna find himself, wow, behind Branson. Yeah, I gotta say that Sawyer, he pulled the strategy here. I think he stayed too long on this last stint, and unfortunately that find himself at the back of the field, and we're in the closing stages of this race. Lap 15 and 19, this race has flown by for a 35% race here in Qatar. As we're watching Brindley, who just flown by the likes of Biggie into turn 1. She's up into P3. Connor is leading the way. I mean, Connor is absolutely dominating this one, I must say, as he gets some more laps later. Onto lap 17 now. Brindley closing in on Jackson, because Brindley's on the soft combat tires. I don't know if she can catch up to Connor, but if she wants this win, she needs to get past Jackson very quickly, I must say, if she wants any chance. But Connor, sorry, look at him. 4 seconds ahead of Jackson. He is absolutely taking control of this race. I must say, he's finding confidence in this car right now. And yet again, it's going to be another world of domination for Inferno Motorsport. Well, for Connor, because Sawyer is out of order. He's down at the back of the field. I mean, he's in the points, so now he needs to try and get as many points as he can to help him and his team, you know, to extend their gap to the team behind, and that's Motorsport Racing in the team standings. But Connor, I think he's going to be taking the lead on the Drivers' Championship if things stay as they are. So, Megan, yet again, Megan, where did she start it? Megan started all the way up. Megan started P17, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Megan started P17, and now she's up into P5. Wild. So, yeah, Megan and Jackson, yet again, I gotta say, FAX Racing, they're looking really, really good, I must say, as we want to pull to love this race. On board with Sawyer, making the move on Mike. This should be an easy move. DRS, ERS, battery usage, he's through, and maybe he can get the move on Megan. No, a bit too far away to make that move done. But yeah, Sawyer up into P6, but it looked like Mike is going to try and fight this one back, you know. Let's see if he's going to find a good exit out of the lights of turn 3. No, he doesn't. He does not have a good exit, and Sawyer got that one covered, and now you can turn his attention to Megan on the hards. And I must say, those hards, I think Megan been on those hards for a long time, I must say. So yeah, those hards, she's going to be struggling with tyre wear on those hards, so I'm not surprised that Sawyer has caught up to him very, very quickly. Right, back to our attention to the second place battle. That's Brindley and Jackson. That is Branson having a little affair, I must say, trying to defend against Megan, I must say. But it looked like Branson probably got that P4 covered. I gotta say, he's going to be absolutely brilliant. I mean, astonished by P4. You have to get Branson consistently getting good results throughout this season. The first 3 races of the season, can he keep that going? I mean, he will be in a fight for the championship if Inferno don't get back-to-back wins every single race. But we're gonna wait and see, because we're on the final lap of this race now. 5 seconds ahead. Connor got this win all settled or done with, but we're watching this fight for second place. And look at the state of Brindley's softs. They're absolutely done for. Can Jackson, that's the question, can Jackson hold on to this second place position? Let me tell you, because we're on the final lap. This is never or never for the likes of Brindley. I mean, she's going to be happy with third place, but for second place, I mean, that would be great, great, great stuff for her, as she can close in on to Connor and specifically Sawyer in the standings. But it's looking like Jackson has got this one covered. He started to pull away from Brindley, and I think he might got this second place. But let's turn our attention to Connor. In this old little world, no one is on his level, and he has shown his dominance. And as he rounds the final corner, it's gonna be back-to-back wins for Connor. Rounds the final corner, and he's gonna win the Qatar Grand Prix in a world of dominance. Well done to Connor. Jackson will finish in second. He hangs on to second place. Brindley has to settle for third place. Branson, brilliant drive from him. Fourth. Sawyer recovered up to P5. Megan, brilliant drive from her from P17 to P6. She gotta be happy with that. Yeah, in something, she got some points. And then Elijah, Ethan, and Mike, who ran out the points paying decisions. So, what an insane race. Well, kind of a boring one, but I hope you enjoyed that one, because we had some shock. Maya retiring, but Connor, yet again, that's his second win of the season, and that's Inferno Motorsports. 3 wins in a row in the first 3 rounds of this season. They're definitely taking control as Jackson second, Brindley, Branson, Sawyer, Megan, Yaya, Elijah, Ethan, Mike, Sayed, Salash, Maddie, Parker, Biggie, Rai, Jordan, Noah, Shiloh, and Maya. The shot retire Maya, and I do have words, it is an engine failure. Wow. I don't know how she managed to face sideways, but it looked like it was an engine failure. That's what race control told me. So yeah, that's big disappointment for Maya and for Rai. P16. Yeah, Rose Rush. This is definitely a day to forget. And just move on to the next one and pray that Australia will show some miracles. Right. what does the championship standings look like after the Qatar Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen? And it's Connor leading the way, extending his advantage, but Brentley now is up into second place, sliding down to third. Then Yaya, Maya, Megan, Elijah, Jackson, Ethan, Branson, Vara, Biggie, Noah, Mike, Maddie, Silas, Parker, Salah, Shadow, and Jordan. And the constructor standings: Inferno Motorsport, Lux Balls Racing, Phoenix Edge Racing, Rose Brush, Hero Force, Titan Racing, full-throttle, Diamond Lighter Racing, Midnight Apex, and Blaze Velocity. Those are your championship standings, ladies and gentlemen. And my, this is utterly under control of Connor. Can he keep that championship streak going? Well, we have to find out when FAX Racing returns. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you again when FAX Racing returns for round 4 in Australia. Bye bye and good night.